Bitch, you need to listen to have you listened to the Potential Breakup song?
No, oh my God, I was gonna listen to it on my way home and then I got so sidetracked with a podcast. Yeah, it's crazy.
Can we just jump like straight in? Hi, my name is Julie. This is Bucky
I'm Hope.
Booze. Let's
Oh, sorry, I
please do Booze or
interrupted.
Lose.
Yes, for Booze or Lose, I have some warm champagne.
Me too. It wasn't warm when we started calling
I
each
thought
other.
I thought you were getting a little bottle.
I was going to, but then I just didn't.
Okay. So you're not gonna pop it because that looks like it's already open.
It's already open. I already poured it because I gave Rob some. But mine didn't have a pop anyway. It was like really cheap. It said extra
This is
dry. I bought a bunch of bottles for New Year's.
this is technically Prosecco. I don't know how to open it.
You have to peel off the aluminum.
I can't peel it off. There's a sticker on top of it. Okay. I'm nervous.
I am so nervous. I brought a cup of OJ in case, but I think I'm gonna
I did
like it.
too. Oh wait, mine is like a plastic
Quirky thing that
cork.
looks like
Also, this is what I'm drinking.
Corbel.
Yeah. So I'm drinking Corbel Prosecco sparkling wine. How the fuck? Okay, so it didn't pop. It was literally a twist off.
Yeah, so was mine. Let us
I'm
drink.
gonna pour.
I'm gonna try mine first because I'm seriously so stressed out. You guys don't understand how upset I am right now. So this is the Andre California Champagne. It's extra dry, which I love. Um, I mean, there's not really much else to say about it. Here we go. I almost drank my hair. That is so good. So good. This
Okay,
is the best Booze or Lose I've ever had.
now let me try mine. Again, I'm drinking Corbel Prosecco. It says DOC, which I don't know what that means. Sparkling wine product of Italy. It says extra dry too, so I don't know what that means either. I'll probably mix it. I don't really like any wine, so. It's it's so warm.
Yeah.
It's so warm because we've been doing this shit for an hour. Ugh. I'm gonna pour some juice in it.
Do you like it?
It's fine. Yeah.
Is it a
I
Booze or
mean,
Lose?
I think it's a booze. Like it's a good cheap. It cost me $4. So you can't beat that. And then I
Right,
added
yeah.
some orange juice to it.
I think mine is a booze for sure as well. I have the OJ. I might add it. I'm just like, I don't know, anytime I have
It's
a
way
mimosa,
better.
I get hungover. Like even one mimosa like kills me.
Really. I work in the morning too, but
I know,
I don't
me
even
too though.
care.
It's New
And we're
Year's. Who
starting recording
cares?
so late.
I know that I just looked at the
So,
time and I was like, fuck.
happy New Year. New Year's. I don't know. It's
Happy
not
New
fucking
Year.
2020.
No, thank God. Here we are. We time traveled like we do every major holiday. But God, I'm just so glad to be out of 2020. That was disgusting. All right, let's
Okay, yeah.
jump back in.
Fuck 2020. Glad the year is over. I'll drink to that. We have a couple of boozes.
How cute
Way
are we with our
better.
boozes? Aw, cheers. That was like clink, clink, clink. So for this episode, I mean, we really just want it to be a great time to reflect on the positive things, especially obviously we're just going to be focusing on the podcast and what we've done in this first half year because it is like officially at half a year now. And talk about our goals for the future with the podcast. I think we are both super just like shocked at, I mean, what we've already accomplished. I mean, I get shocked every time I check our stats and that there's people that like want to
Hmm.
wear our shirts and just all this crazy stuff. So there is so much to just like talk about. Let me ask you from the first episode, right? The first few episodes that we recorded, like how did you
Yeah.
feel compared to how you feel now? Like do you feel like, oh, we made it, like we did something so great? Like how are you feeling with Bucky Booze?
I feel like we have gone way further than I thought we would already. Like, I thought honestly our first episodes were gonna get like 3 listens each, and
Mhm.
they're like in the hundreds. Like,
Yeah.
that's way more than I expected. I knew that we would still be doing it because I know both of us are so like, do not quit.
Yeah.
We just stick to things. Um, I'm sorry, this is making me fucking burp. So
Bubbly.
I'm trying to talk and like explain how great this is, and I just keep burping. Um, but yeah, I didn't expect it to give us the opportunities we got. Like we got to go to Chattanooga to Big River, interview a brewer who's been doing it for so long. We got to try every single beer for free. We
Yeah,
got
that's
free
crazy.
drinks from Flying Panda. Flying Panda was suggested to us, and we ended up meeting with the CEO and having drinks with her and like getting free Flying Panda. That's crazy. So I don't know. I'm really proud of where we've come, but I do think there's a long way to go, and I have some goals for next year for us. So
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't know, like, whenever you I just heard you talk about the flying panda thing, that's just so crazy that we had no idea who Flying Panda was, and I was like, "Damn, these drinks are expensive," and then we really liked the drinks, and then, I don't know, just, like, somewhere in, like, the go-giddiness of Bucky Booze, like, we got to meet her, so I think that that is something awesome that we've accomplished, and I think the podcast for me obviously, it's a great way for us to let out, like, our creative energy and stuff, but I just feel, like, so much more confident knowing that I'm the host of Bucky Booze.
I,
But yeah,
yeah,
the confidence. I mean, this is probably one of the greatest let me turn this down. This is probably one of the greatest things I have ever accomplished. Like, I truly believe that.
yeah, me too. I think this is like, I don't know, just something special. Like, we've been wanting to do something creative for so long. We've been wanting to like have a podcast, a YouTube, like everything. And now we're actually going out, we're doing it. I'm really proud of us and how we've just stuck to it this whole time. Um, I don't know. It's really fucking cool.
Okay, so say it's 2021, because it is, I guess, and you have some friends and they're like, I really want to start a podcast, but I don't know, like, how's it going to go anywhere? And like, I don't know anything about anything. And like, blah, blah, blah. What would you say? What's your biggest advice on starting something all by yourself?
Well, first of all, I just say do it, but don't have like the expectation. Don't be like, oh, I'm afraid it's not going to go anywhere. Don't think like that. Don't have the expectation, one, that people will listen to you. You know, I did not have that expectation and I have not been disappointed from
Mm,
it, you know. I'd say just do it. Like if you have passion, you want to do it and stick to it. Like actually whatever creative endeavor you want to do, if you want to start a podcast, if you want to do YouTube, make music, whatever, you have to start it and you have to keep doing it, keep practicing and keep getting better. Because we have had so many times where I've just been like, what the fuck? This sucks. Like tonight
yeah.
when we were
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to do the fucking Zoom. Like it's hard, but if you have a passion for it, do it and hopefully something will come out of it. And if it doesn't, then at least you have
You muted yourself, you dumb bitch. I can't
like
do
at least
this.
we'll have a fun little hobby. I didn't mean to mute myself. I keep on
I
trying to be like,
know.
these and muting myself.
But I agree with everything you said. One thing that I found extremely shocking when we started this, is just like that there is a community of people doing the same thing as you that are so willing to help you out. That was the biggest shock,
Yeah.
like most shocking thing to me because before the podcast, I mean, I didn't share or do like anything creative. Like I've always been kind of just scared to do things like that, and I didn't know if I'd have any help or support or whatever. But there are so many people. Facebook is like the place to go. Facebook groups, like that's where you need to be. It looks to me like Hope is frozen. Oh, I wish you guys. See, this is why we need video. Anyways, I'm talking to myself. Hey, Hope,
Hey,
you missed the funniest thing ever, and I really hope I'm gonna keep it in there because it was so funny. But yeah, what happened to you? Where did you go?
I was sitting here and you froze, and I was just like, I'm gonna sit still because I'm probably frozen on her screen, so I'll just sit still and wait for it to be over. And I couldn't hear anything that you were saying, so I was just like sitting like that, just like
Okay, well,
nodding and hoping that maybe you came back, and then it disconnected. And, oops,
well,
so
our listeners are in for a treat. I said some really inspiring stuff.
that's amazing.
I
I
wish you could have heard
thought
it.
it was so beautiful. I'm in for a treat when I edit this
You
again.
are in for a treat.
Wait. Um,
Uh,
anyway,
but so while you were gone doing whatever the hell you were doing, I was telling our listeners about how there's a community for anything, um, via Facebook, basically. How much
mhm,
help or comments or feedback do we get from Facebook? Like a shit ton.
so much. Like I go in there all the time, and I help other people too. Like
Yeah, Hope
if
is
I
always
can.
commenting, and I'm like, oh, Hope.
That one the other day, someone was like, "What are y'all doing for New Year's? Like, what are your episode ideas? Blah blah blah." And Julie commented on it, and I was like, "I can't wait to get all gushy!" Like I was so excited. But I also have a treat. So
Okay.
we did have some listeners send in some New Year's Eve stories, and I wrote them all down on paper. I hand wrote these stories down so I can read them to you.
Okay.
Do you want to do that now or
Let's do that in a second.
okay, yeah, let's keep going.
Okay, one thing I want to talk about that I think are a lot of people are afraid of, that I'm actually still really, really terrified of, is like negative reviews.
Yeah,
So as of now, publicly, we haven't gotten any negative reviews that have damaged our rating or anything like
yeah.
that. But we do get feedback, and some of the feedback you don't love it. Um, so let me tell my own personal story.
Okay.
So I was informed about how I don't have enough inflection in my voice when I speak. And obviously, I'm not hung up on it or anything,
Don't
but
forget, there's more
that I'm monotone.
that you don't react.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that's
that I
the funny
don't
part of the
react.
story.
I
It
actually
makes me
got
sound
that.
like a bitch.
I got that twice. I got one was from my boyfriend, but it was in a sweet, kind way. But yeah, so I got that. And obviously, like hearing that you don't wanna I mean, you have to take it and you have to listen to it because it's real and it's true and it's other people's perspectives. Obviously, I'm not gonna see myself that way because I think I'm talking and doing the podcast and, like, doing what I need to be doing. But I can definitely understand where people are coming from. I mean, I've been told that my whole life. The point of it is that when people tell you things like that, you don't need to be upset about it. And you really need to learn from it. A lot of times we see in these Facebook groups that we're in, people are saying, like, oh, I got this review that was saying this, and people don't like that. And how should I react? And
Yeah,
I mean, I'm like, listen, you need to listen to the feedback that you're getting because the person that is giving you that feedback is who you're selling to. That is your audience. Like they are telling you
yeah,
what they want and
exactly.
what you're not doing. So do it, fix it, but also, like, don't let that be something that deters you or, like, makes you hesitant about continuing on with what you're doing. I think if you don't get negative feedback or feedback that you don't like, that probably means that people aren't listening. Like, that's the way that I look at it, you
Yeah,
know?
definitely. I also like people tend to take stuff more personally than it is.
Mhm.
Like people will take criticism so badly they think it's a personal attack. They think, "Oh my god,
You muted, yeah. Hope is like my old grandma.
I like they keep falling out of my ears. My ears are too small, I guess, but people take negative feedback as like a personal attack, and it's not. I mean, sometimes if someone's like, fuck you, you ugly bitch, like that is an
Maybe.
attack. But like certain things, you just have to be like, okay, yeah, I accept that. I will try to work on this and actually try to do it. Like, don't just give up and be like, oh, well, I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. Because I see a lot of people doing that shit and it's depressing.
Yeah, I really don't like that. I really don't like the, "Oh, I'm not good enough" thing. Just don't do that. Like,
It's also like fishing for compliments. Like,
it's
I'm
very
not good enough. I guess
cringe.
I'll just go die. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, no one,
You have to convince us.
no one, here's the thing, get over yourself. No one gives enough of a shit about you to care whether or not you give up. If someone gives enough of a shit about you to criticize you and help you like do what you're supposed to be doing, get on the right track, like take that as a good thing. People are listening, like you said. Like when people say shit like, "Oh, I guess I'll just fucking quit. I'm not good enough, am I?" Blah. It's like you're being one manipulative, like that's weird. And two, get over yourself. No one was thinking that deeply about it.
Yeah, I
And if
100%
you know what
agree.
I mean, like who
Yeah.
cares?
I think especially when we're talking about, being creative and making your own thing, you have to, even if you don't believe it. And this is something that I ran into this year, but like even if you don't believe that you're the person that's supposed to be doing this or blah blah blah, you still need to convince us. You still need to convince your audience and make us feel like, you know what, this is a person that I should listen to or trust or they're reputable. Because if you're going to be like that and like, oh, no one's going to listen to me and trying to get like pity parties basically and have people listen to you because they feel bad for you, like you're not going to be successful. You have to believe in yourself, like, first, number
And no
1.
one wants to hear it, second of all.
Nobody wants to hear it. That's so depressing. Imagine if I went on Bucky Boo's Instagram and I said, nobody listens to us. Like, we should just, like, no one likes this podcast. If no one listens, I'm just going to delete it. Like, that'd be so ugly. I'd lose
That'd be
all my followers
weird.
in a minute. Like,
Yeah, everybody would be like, what? What's happening?
especially because they know me and you would never say that. LOL. But
They know we're not cringe like that. We cringe
different ways.
different ways.
Yeah.
Like we do cringy shit different ways.
You know that we are
Um,
so, so cringy. Like, I look back on our memories.
oh yeah. Like 100%. If you can't accept that, then like again, get over yourself if you can't accept the fact that you yourself are cringe. I don't, what's that thing? Like you think your shit doesn't stink or something like that? Like I
Never
know my
heard
shit
that.
stinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like
There's a
poop.
song about it.
I don't like the poop
Here's the
talk.
thing. Poop jokes are hilarious. Fart jokes are hilarious. I
Okay.
don't care. You think you're
No,
I don't think that's funny.
no, listen.
They're
Okay.
funny.
I still to this day don't like poop jokes. I never have. Fart
To this
jokes,
day, when you were a child,
no, I never thought that was funny. And then fart jokes,
it's so funny.
no.
Farts are funny, period.
The
They
only
sound
reason that
funny.
I think and fart jokes are funny now is because my boyfriend releases a lot of those. And at this point, it's just funny. But I used to not think
They're funny.
so.
I think I worked on 3 stories, but 2 of them are short.
Mhm.
So this one, let me get my reading voice ready. Okay.
That was it?
Some, yep, that's it.
I'm just kidding.
Some
Back to
friends and
you.
I some friends and I went to Nashville 2018/19 for New Year's Eve for the free show because you know how Nashville always has like a free big show. Anyway, it was country music, but we just wanted to go and get high at a free show. We brought some joints, and my friends saw people getting searched and got freaked out about the joints. They were gonna toss them before we even went in, so my ass was like, they aren't gonna deep search me. I'm a girl. They were like, no, no, no. So I grabbed the joints and I shoved them in my tits. I walked through and they were geeking at me the whole time. And I just did a little curtsy and walked in, and then we smoked weed at Keith Urban.
Oh, yes, at Keith Urban. I like that. You muted yourself, my sweet love.
I can't do this. I'm gonna just switch back to the
Stop
old
touching that.
fashioned headphones. I seriously can't. They keep falling out of my ears.
I'm telling you, broke from one broke bitch to another. Afterpay your fucking AirPods, okay?
I could not find Afterpay. I tried searching for AirPods on Afterpay and I couldn't find them. Send
Okay,
me a link.
you have to go to Target.com, click on the AirPods. It says it's a firm. It's a different thing. It's the same thing. It's just a different brand. I pay $17 a month.
Ah,
Anyway,
bitch. Okay. I'm gonna get some. Okay.
I'm feeling
Are you feeling a little tipsy?
yes.
I'm a little tipsy too. Oh, also, here's one resolution I have. I'm gonna get pretty again. I was looking at old pictures. I did this TikTok trend where you rate yourself. And so I rated myself freshman through college. And
Mhm.
obviously, freshman in high school, like all the way through high school, I was not hot. I did have a good body though, because I was skinny. And then in college, I was really skinny. I had great hair. I was cute. Like, I looked good. And now I look like this. And so my resolution is to get pretty again. I went to the dermatologist. I got new face wash, everything.
Long
I
time since you went to the dermatologist.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Mhm.
And I started whitening my teeth. I use Sensodyne already, so I bought like a little teeth whitener strip. So, if you see me blindingly smiling, that's why. I've never whitened my teeth before, so I'm hoping it works.
It kind of works. I used to whiten my teeth when I was in high school when I was pretty, and then I stopped because I got ugly and fat. And now I'm like kind of whitening them again, but not like with gel or strips, just like this toothpaste I bought. But that's a great resolution. I love it when one of us decides to get pretty again. We go through these tough times.
Listen, it's hard out here, especially in quarantine when I've been like dressing like this, just like in nothing, the most boring clothes. Also, I have this idea.
Okay.
So I saw this girl on TikTok. She got, those face masks that cover like your neck and stuff?
No, I didn't know they made that.
Well, it's like from here down, it covers your neck. They're not effective. Anyway, so it's like a tube. So she got one of those
Hmm.
and she got a wig and she puts her hair up and she puts the face mask down over her face to where it's like covering everything. And she has her hair up and then she puts a wig on and then she pulls the mask over to where it hides her hair and the wig's hairline so she doesn't have to do it. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that and then I'm just going to go nuts on my hair because I'm so tired of it. It's just been like plain brown, same haircut for so long. I'm just going to go nuts. I'm going to go crazy and stupid.
Okay. This is the best idea because I miss Hope with the crazy hair. Like, Hope with the crazy hair was my first love, and now I
That's
just
how you
have
met me.
I have my brunette Hope, which I still love dearly, but the crazy hair Hope just did something to you, you know?
I know the green hair,
The
the pink
green,
hair.
the
Do you remember
pink,
the yellow and
the
the red?
yellow,
Oh,
yes. So I really love that resolution, and you should do it. I have a
I'm
couple.
excited.
I have a couple personal rezos. Um, ew.
Oh, also we need to brag about what we did.
What?
Like brag about our year. First of all, we started a
Oh, yeah,
podcast and
yeah.
got lots
Okay,
of
we'll do that
opportunities.
after I do my personal rezos.
Okay.
Okay. All right, everybody. So now I want to tell you some of my personal rezos. And yes, I will be calling them rezos for the rest of my life. Um, okay, so I have a couple. One thing isn't actually a rezo. Well, it kind of is. So I decided that for the month of January, just the month of January, I'm going to get off of my personal social medias, my personal Instagram, my personal Twitter, Facebook. I'm just getting rid of those for the month of January
That's
because
healthy.
yeah, and I've never done it. And I'm just like in this weird time in my life. And I don't know. I just don't really give a fuck about seeing anything about anybody. And I don't want to waste my time on there. And
Yeah.
so I'm also getting rid of TikTok, and that's just what's going to happen. I am going to be focusing really heavily on working on the podcast and working on actually creating content that I think is good enough for YouTube, which is something I've always really wanted to do. So it'll be nice to just have zero distractions and just focus on that. And I am not going to be doing a Never Done Helping project in January because I need this time to just kind of cool out and just be with myself and figure some things out, you know? So I am really excited to take this month off. I mean, not off, but just kind of
Take
put
a
all
little
my
break
spare time. Yeah. And put all my spare time towards growing the podcast and making
and
my
be
YouTube.
productive.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
like that.
I'm
I did
really,
that for
really
3
excited.
months,
Yeah. I
you know,
remember when you
like
did that.
it was like 3 months, no Snapchat, no Twitter, no Instagram, nothing. I like deactivated every single one. I actually I didn't deactivate my Instagram because I wanted to still see all my pictures.
Hmm.
So I privated it and I deleted every single follower that I had off of Instagram, which is now why I think I don't get any engagement on my Instagram because they think that's suspicious activity.
Really?
So,
That makes
yeah,
sense.
like
I
if you
mean,
remove a ton of followers and then follow a ton of people in one day, like I had to do it multiple times because it kept stopping me. It was like,
yeah.
you're doing too much, girl. Like, calm down. I just wanted to be out of there. Like, I didn't want to be on there anymore.
Yeah. Instagram don't tell us what to do, first of all. And then
Okay.
another personal reso I have is kind of like hopes to get pretty again. Um, but just to kind of like start taking care of myself again because I see a lot of like my memories that really pissed me off like a year ago and like 2 years ago. Like, dude, I used to just like love myself so much and like do everything good for myself. And now it's like I always put myself last. Bitch, I get no sleep. Like I just do not care about my body and myself anymore. So that is going to be a resolution for me as well. Is just take care of myself. Like who cares, you know?
That'll be good. Okay, so I'm going to read another story.
Okay.
Restart that. Those were
Okay.
2 stories. The
Great
craziest
job.
time that this girl had was that she watched Star Trek until midnight.
Some people's lives are so boring.
I know. Then this one said there had to be drugs and alcohol involved, but I can't remember because there were drugs and alcohol involved.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it sounds good. I guess I have one more, but we'll do a little bit more of our thing before we get to the last story, so we can kind of break it up a bit.
Okay.
So to brag on this year,
Yes.
okay. So we started a podcast, obviously.
Duh.
Uh, I got a puppy, Gnarly, who I absolutely adore. I got fucking engaged, bitch, engaged
Ring,
to the
engage, fiance.
yes, to the love of my life. And I just like I love Hunter so much. We've been together 7 years. Like, I don't know, we just love each other. He makes me a better person. Believe it or not, I used to be worse than I am now. Believe it or not. Let's see. I got a job this year, although I'm not crazy about it. I'm not passionate about it. I'm definitely trying to do this forever. I got a job that I'm able to work in the pandemic. Like I've had the privilege of working and being stable during the pandemic, which feels great, you know.
Hmm.
Um, my family hasn't gotten sick and I have food and shelter. So I'm very grateful for that. And I think that's fun. I like it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So
Those are great brags. I'm really happy just like being your best friend, seeing all the great things that you've done this year. I am especially stoked about you getting engaged. I've been waiting on that since I fucking met you and you told me about Hunter. So I love that. I think this was a challenging year. I mean,
definitely.
generally, but I mean, personally, everybody has other things like life still goes on and there's still things that people have to deal with. This year for me, I mean, I grew a lot. I mean, I started this podcast, obviously, which I love with all my heart. I started my NDH thing, which is really great for me. I love it. I love the way that it helps people. And it's put me in some really great connections with similar minded people that I can just talk to and we can create things. And that's something that I'm super excited about. I did a lot of growing internally this year. I have learned how to say no to people, which is something that I've struggled with for a really long time, but I'm just not afraid to stand up for what I believe in. I mean, whether that's friends, family, like whatever. I really like had to take a look in the mirror and say like you need to stop letting everybody move you around because that's not how life works. And if you want anyone to take you seriously, you have to stand up for yourself. So that was probably the greatest thing that I learned. And the greatest thing that I got was my baby Benji. I also became a dog mom, like maybe just a couple weeks before Hope, like right at the same
It was,
time.
yeah, it was a little bit before me because I dog sat Benji and decided to get a dog after that.
Benji's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. So super happy about that. And same with my family. None of my family has gotten sick. They've all been super healthy. I have a great job that I really enjoy now. Obviously, of course, like Hope, not what I want to do forever, but it's a job and I got to keep it during all of this. And that's really great. And my little sister has a job interview tomorrow for her first job. So that is another thing I'm excited about. But yes, I'm really excited. Oh, and Robert, my boyfriend, is starting on all his dreams, which just makes me very happy to see. And I can't wait to see where the new year takes that as well.
Are you done
Hmm.
drinking your drink? I
Hmm.
finished mine too.
I love champagne, you know?
Yeah, I like it. I when I drank it plain, I was like, but then I added some orange juice in it, and I was like, oh hell yeah, bitch! Like,
I love E plain and I love E with juice.
are you ready for another story?
Yes.
This is my last one. Okay, it says high school party, lots of alcohol. Me and my girlfriend were the only two people who didn't drink. However, there were a lot of truth or dare games going on, and eventually, a lot of boys and girls go into rooms to start having sex. Me and my girlfriend leave, and I take her home. Her parents aren't home. She gives me the cutest smile I've ever seen. I spent the night at her house. We didn't have sex, but I got a full 12 hours of cuddling with her. So that was their
Aw.
craziest New Year's story. And all I have to say is you're a fucking nerd.
Yeah, you should have fucked, bitch.
I know, like literally everybody at that party was fucking except you. Second, everybody was drinking except both of y'all. You only need one designated driver, bitch. And then you had the whole house to yourself and you couldn't get it in? What?
That's some pussy shit. And
That's
we say
embarrassing.
none of that pussy shit.
None of that pussy shit. That's embarrassing. You shouldn't have shared that story for me to read.
You knew we were gonna drag you for that. You know
I
who we
know.
are.
That
It's really embarrassing. I
is
mean,
embarrassing.
you wanna know the worst New Year's I had?
Hmm.
So, it was New Year's not last year, but the year before that, and I was still dating my ex-boyfriend, and he was like, "Let's hang out on New Year's," and I was like, "I don't really want to do it," and he was like, "No, let's just hang out," and I was like, "Okay, I'll stay for a little bit," and then he was like, "Let's watch a movie." He made me watch a scary ass movie. I don't like that, and we were drinking these drinks, like, you know those little sangrias? They're black with all the fruits on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, let's drink some of these, you'll have fun, blah, blah, blah," and I drank, like, 3 sips of mine because I really wanted to go home, and he lived far away from my family's house, and I was like, "Alright, I'm gonna go," and it was just, like, a wasted day, and then I went back to my house and drank in my bedroom and had such a better time. So
Mine, okay. I don't know what my worst one was. I probably fell asleep, but like last year, my friend Becca came over and we were hanging out and we were gonna go down to Murfreesboro to my friend Val's house to like have a good New Year's, have fun. And I was so anxious. Like we got all the way to
mm.
Murfreesboro, like to the exit, and I was so anxious. I was like, I'm gonna fucking throw up. Like I was gagging in the seat beside me. And I made us all go back home and then we like played some games and stuff. And it was fun, but I just felt really bad and guilty that I like made everybody drive out there and come all the way back home because my bitch ass was too anxious. Like I felt so bad, but mental health. It is what it is. You can't help it.
You can't help it. It is what it is. That's okay. I remember that though. I remember I was Snapchatting you. Um,
Yeah, I was
last,
like so nervous.
yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Last New Year's, I hung out with Slightly Daily and Mylena and this random couple. I mean, they were their roommates at the time, but we just had a great time. We drank mimosas and played board games all night long. And
Yeah, I was playing
then
games too at my house before we left.
that's so cute. We're like little board gamey girls. We're
I
gamer
have so
girls.
many board games now.
Jenga.
I have 3 different versions of Seen It.
I've never played that. I should have played the Twilight one when I was at your house, but I was just nervous because it was like dark and I hate driving in the night.
So I have Twilight Seen It Junior, and Nickelodeon Seen It. And
Hmm.
I just like demolished Hunter and Seen It Junior the other night, and he was like, I hate this game. I don't even want to play. But I need someone to play Twilight Seen It with me. I played with my friend Joanna, and she's like played it before, I guess, because she has it all memorized. Like she knows every answer, and I don't know any of them. And she lapped me 3 times.
Okay, you know
She's
what we
like, I'll
should
just keep
do?
going. And she lapped me.
We should play like a virtual Twilight Scene It together via Zoom.
That would be fun. We could
And
put that on the YouTube.
that would be really fun. I think that I would have a good time doing that. What are you doing this year? You guys just gonna play board games?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably be in bed early. I don't have any plans. I don't give a fuck about the new year. I just am glad that it's not going to be this year anymore.
Just
So,
happy to wake up to 2021.
yeah.
Okay, we bragged. We were grateful. Now, what do you want to see for the Bucky Boo's podcast next year? Like, give me like 2 or 3
Okay.
things that you want to see.
So I had 2 things. The 2 biggest things were, one, I want to make more money. Like
Mm-hmm.
whether that be designing new merch and selling more merch, or getting a sponsorship. I really want a sponsorship. Or, oh wait, there was no or. That was the 2 things for money. I also I also want to get 10,000 downloads by the end of 2021. It's a big, big goal, but that's just what I want. I also decided I'm going to start manifesting.
No, manifesting is great.
I like wrote down the days that you're supposed to manifest. You're supposed to do it like when the moon is growing.
Okay, all right, okay. Listen,
Like from
I
new moon to full moon.
I believe in you, and those are all great things. 10,000 downloads by the end of 2021
Yeah.
is a big number. Um, but it's not out of the question for us, especially for this new year. I feel like we have so much potential. We're already doing big things. I mean, and you never know, like just the fact that this is just our second week on YouTube, we already built crazy numbers on, like Buzzsprout and our downloads and our listens and shit. It's not out of the question, and it definitely can happen. And if it does happen, you guys, I don't know if you remember us telling you this, but if Bucky Blues gets to 10,000 downloads by the end of 2021, Julie, Hope, and our Bucky boys, we're going to go stay in the Twilight Bella Swan house in Fork, Seattle. Is that it?
Yes, we are,
Forks,
bitch. I'm
Washington.
so excited. George Washington. Oh, you know what I
No,
was also
Forks,
thinking?
Washington.
I thought you like messed up and said George Washington. I was like, okay, George Washington. Anyway, I have to say something now.
Okay.
But I didn't mute myself. Okay.
Those are great goals. Yes, you guys know that we're going to be doing the Twilight House stay. Obviously, because you're definitely going to get us to 10K. So let me tell you about some of my goals for the podcast. Obviously, sponsorships. That's huge. We're ready for it. We have a great audience. Everybody is listening to us consistently, and they're amazing for that. So we're ready for some sponsorships. I really want us to create or partner with a dildo. I mean, yeah, like a dildo or a vibrator company 'Cause, like, I think that would be
Girl,
great for us.
I was also thinking, I was trying to like plan out some episodes for next year, and I was like, oh my God, we're gonna have our 69th episode. We should do like a sexy episode.
We should.
Well, we can make some really good sex toys.
Yeah, I think that Bucky Booze needs to get into the sex industry somehow, some way. Another thing, though, is that if any sugar daddies are listening, please send us some money. We need to have your money to do stuff. Did you hear that? Were you listening? No, you weren't. Your headphones were out.
I muted myself.
I was just giving a sugar
But
ma
I
a
know what
su
you were saying about the sugar daddies.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
I heard that part.
another goal for the podcast is, yes, the 10K downloads is an amazing goal. I hope we get to it. I hope we do the sponsorships because I want the money. Everybody, we want the money, obviously. And then lastly, I just want you guys to, like, love us and be obsessed with us. And I think our goal is to kick a few podcasts out of the rankings. We're tired of some of them. They're kind of generic, they're
Call her
boring, they're
daddy.
unseasoned.
Yeah,
Daddy jokes
super
get
boring.
boring after a million episodes.
Yeah, and also like how many tips can you give on how to fuck? Like honestly, if you're only doing what they're doing on that show,
Yikes.
you're running out of content, sweetie.
Yes, so let's try to glamorize girls in the podcast industry that don't just talk about daddy issues, because we have more issues, like we're poor, we're tired. Let's glamorize those issues, please.
Mental health.
Fat.
It's mental illness.
Hope. Hope, I need to ask you something. Say what, Julie?
What, Julie?
Who am I want to go to the beach.
Nicki Minaj.
So Cole
Can you
Hirsch,
believe
if
we
you
drew
heard
him last
that.
year?
God, I fucking love him. He's my crush. Podcast but outside. If you want to do like a collaboration, hit us up, please. I know that I called you my bestie on Instagram and you said I'm not, but I am.
I know publicly was like, we don't know this person.
But you want to know that person because I don't know, podcasters are so funny. I think podcasters are the best of everything.
We are.
I totally agree.
I'm grouping us in with that.
We are podcasters if you think about it.
If you think we are podcasters,
We might be.
maybe
When do you
we
get to
can never
consider
be
yourself a
certain.
podcaster? When can you say, yeah, I'm a podcaster?
When you make a podcast and you stick to it.
So from the jump?
I guess so. I mean, I say I'm a podcaster. But if someone asks me what I do, like, what do you do for a living? I do not say that.
I know, but isn't that word just like, okay, you know what? Maybe the word isn't cringe. Maybe it's just imposterness.
It is a little, though, like, I'm like, oh yeah, I have a podcast. I feel like that person, but our podcast, it's better. I don't know what to tell you. Like, our podcast is just better than that, I guess. Like, something about it makes
Something
it not
about
as
it is
bad.
so chef's kiss. Gordon Ramsay would love it and lick it up.
Okay. Are we ready for the last call?
First, okay, before we jump into the last call, I want you to give them one thing of advice. Give our listeners a piece of advice, a nice sentence, something to make them feel inspired and ready to jump into 2021.
That's what the last call is for.
Well, my last call is not that.
Okay, a piece of advice for 2021. Set your expectations low so you don't get disappointed.
That's a really realistic last call.
That's not my last call. That's just a little
Oh, I
thing that
mean,
you
piece
told
of
me.
advice. Okay, my piece of advice for you is to do what you want to do the things that you're too afraid to do. So that way in the future, you're not like, damn, I wish I would have done it just do it now. I mean, it's gonna be as hard as it's gonna be, so just do it. I love you.
Okay.
Last call.
You don't have to go home, but you
You
can't
can't
stay
stay
here.
here. All
All right.
right.
Near you.
You can go first. I have to pull mine up on my cellular.
I hand wrote it.
Why are you such a pioneer?
I don't know. I'm like the barefoot Contessa.
The
Anyway, it says
what?
what the barefoot Contessa. She's a cooker. A cooker.
A chef, you dumb bitch. You're such a dumb cunt right now. I'm so fucked up.
Okay, fuck you. I have to pee so bad. Let's just get
So do
this
I.
over with.
Okay.
Okay. Whatever it is you're scared of, whatever it is you're scared of doing, do it. Make your mistakes next year and forever. And that's from you.
You're muted. You're muted.
Okay. So that was one of my mistakes. Thank you, Mr. Neil Gaiman. I have a double quote for you.
All right.
This one is from Miss Hannah Montana, and it says,
Yes.
everybody makes mistakes, everybody has those days. And I just think that it's really cool. And especially with the resolutions thing, like we were saying, everybody makes resolutions. Half the people don't do them and they mess up once and then they decide I'm just giving up. I'm not going to do it anymore. I would like to see one person say that they're going to do something and do it perfectly all the way through on the first try every single time. It's impossible. It's not going to happen. So that's my quote. Everybody makes mistakes.
Okay, two things. One, that was beautiful. I'm about teary-eyed. It is my time of the month, but that was beautiful. Two, I feel like you've done that Hannah Montana quote before.
Well, my original quote was Neil Gaiman.
Okay. All right. That was a
But
good quote.
Hannah Montana tied in it.
Okay, my last call. This one's really emotional. I hope you all are ready. It's from Andy, by Andy from The Office. It says, I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you actually left them. So that just like tugs at my heartstrings every time.
That is so cute.
I know, because you never know. And then you're looking back at the good old days, but you didn't know you were in them.
I know, like in college when I was skinny and hot and we could hang out all the time because you were 10 minutes away from me and we didn't have a pandemic.
And we didn't we were just like literally zero anything, endless money, juice bar for days, stealing alcohol.
We were juice bar bitches.
We were thriving.
We could steal our alcohol.
All right.
What
Well,
happened?
I don't know. We got fat and ugly and old.
I fucking guess. Anyway, Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year to you guys. I am glad that you guys, if you're listening, that means you didn't pass away or anything in 2020. That I don't know, but I'm glad that you're here with us. I'm glad that you're listening. I'm glad that you enjoy us and that you decided by yourself, yes, I'm going to listen to that. And yes, I'm going to wait till the very end of the episode. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Bucky Booze Podcast. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter at Bucky Booze Pod. Make sure that you look us up on Apple Podcasts and you leave us a perfect 5.0 because why wouldn't you? Leave us a written review.
If you have anything less than a 5.0 to tell us, just either leave a 5-point review and say your critique or DM us your critique. Also, follow us on YouTube, subscribe, hit that bell. We have more than just episodes on YouTube. We have content. We have vlogs and shit.
You guys, your girl just got a hard drive. So I'm ready to roll these bitches out. Follow us, subscribe to us and comment and like our shit. Let me know that you're sitting there and you're watching what I'm putting out. Lastly, I want to tell you, it's January. You're still in a pandemic, unfortunately. You still got to eat. When you're Instacarting those groceries, click on our bio in Instagram, the link in our bio, and get our discount. Get your free delivery when you spend $35 or more. Let's get it. Let's do it. Get your groceries, get that discount. Thank you for supporting the podcast. And I hope you guys have a great New Year's.
We are out.
Love you. Bye.